sound, and video, and wave. Hello, everyone. How are you doing, Mama? Oh,
I'm doing
forgot
all right. How are
my
you?
phone audio. There we go.
Uh-oh.
Try again. Sorry for talking over you.
It's all right. I'm doing all right. How are you this evening?
Doing okay. Um,
How's your car situation?
it has not updated yet. For anyone who does not know, I got rear-ended last Thursday. No, 2 Thursdays ago. Yeah, 2 Thursdays ago. I got my insurance payout, so that's good. Stuff is being weird, so let's fix that. Cool. All right, got that fixed. So that process went pretty easy. But my car's totaled, so I don't have
Oh,
a
that's
car.
bad.
Yeah. So to remedy that situation, I have been looking for a car. I drove to Columbus, Ohio on Saturday to go look at a car. I shouldn't have gone for a couple of different reasons.
That's a long distance to go just to look at a car.
Yeah. So that one, it was 6 hours of driving, 3 there and 3 back. So at least it was being split up was nice-ish. I listened to a lot of YouTube videos on the way there and back. So there was that. But I shouldn't have gone because one, the person that I talked to on the phone discouraged me from getting the car inspected. So that was like a red flag to me. Even though it's something that every dealership has discouraged me from doing. Say again, sorry? You were a little quiet.
I said, indeed.
Yeah. But I'm like, well, it's the same. It's basically the same car. It's a different color and it's got a couple extra nicer features than my car had. But otherwise, it's the same car. And I can't find the same car otherwise in like a reasonable radius around me. So I'm like, okay. And it was a good price, and it was around 90,000 miles. So I'm like, maybe I just lose a day if it turns out bad. Yeah. So anyway, I go over there, and I talk to a different guy in the store, because the person I talked to on the phone was busy dealing with other customers, which is fine. But that guy also discouraged me from getting it inspected. But I took it to get inspected anyway.
Did it fail
Yeah.
spectacularly?
It was fine, except for the software stuff, which was like, oh, there are like 6 codes here in the computer. And it's just like, oh, okay. Yeah, that doesn't sound great. So can you give me an estimate? No. The dealership would have to deal with that, or Ford Garage or something. I'm like, okay. So I take it back to the dealership, and I'm like, okay, here's what they found. I'm not going to buy it unless you say you can fix these things. And they're like, yeah, we're not going to fix those things. But I'll have you know that this particular Firestone that you went to, they've got a bad reputation. We've worked with them before, and they said things that weren't true. So it's actually your fault for taking it to an unreputable garage. Yeah. So do you want to buy the car anyway? And I'm like,
No.
no. I even went so far as to call a Ford garage and talk to a service person there and be like, hey, can you give me an estimate if I tell you about some codes that were found in an inspection? And they're like, I mean, I can try, but I don't know. Okay, here's the 4 codes that actually have descriptions. Yeah, I wouldn't buy the car with codes. Those sound like electrical problems. So 2 different garages. One actually looked at the car, the other just is going off of the information that a different garage gave me, so they're working off of secondhand information. And it's not like I trust car garages. I don't trust the Firestone that I took it to get inspected. I don't trust the Ford garage that I called to ask a random service person. But I don't trust car dealerships anywhere close to the amount. Wait, hold on. Yeah, anywhere close to the amount that I trust the garages that I don't trust. I said that super weirdly. Of the 3 places that I all distrust, I distrust the dealership the most.
Yeah.
Because a car dealership will sell you a car without an engine and then blame you for not test driving it. Like, I'm not the one who's, like, the problem here. Like, car dealerships have bad reputations for a reason. So yeah, I was very upset. So I drove off. They called me on Monday, and I did not answer. Yeah. Yeah. So, I've been looking at other cars. I got pre-approved for a loan. So if I need to spend the extra money, I have it available.
Yeah, and how long had you had that car?
A year and 3 months, maybe a
It was
little
longer
less.
than I thought.
Yeah, I got it in March last year. So, yeah, I've yeah, and I wasn't working when I got it, and I got my job in September, which was actually almost 10 months ago. So, yeah, it was longer than I anticipated, and I actually got like about how much I paid for that car from insurance. So,
Oh, well,
like,
that's good.
yeah, I was actually really happy with that. So, like, I'm not down that much money, other than like regular maintenance. There was one time where I had to spend a decent amount of money on a repair, which I wasn't quite prepared for, so I had to pay a little bit of interest on that as well. But that's okay. Got everything taken care of. And now I have more savings that are a lot more liquid, so that helps if anything else were to happen. But I probably have not learned my lesson about traveling distances to go look at a car, because there's a certified pre-owned car that I want to look at on Thursday in Kentucky. So I'm going to drive 2 hours there and then another 2 hours back. A little less, actually, but go take a look at that and hopefully that one. But it's a certified pre-owned, so I'm a little bit more optimistic that it's good. However, I was reading some stuff about certified pre-owned, and they're just as bad as regular used cars. They've just got an extra. They just have a manufacturer's warranty. So like I'm a little excited about that manufacturer's warranty, but I don't know. So we'll figure that out. But it's a 22, so pretty recent.
Yeah.
So hopefully that means things are good. What was the mileage that I saw on it? Under 20,000 miles. So
Wow.
yeah, and it's 27,000. So that's a lot of money. So I don't know whether or not it's smart to do so, but I also have a decent amount of savings. So, and I'm being picky with the cars. So, like, maybe I can get a nice car. I don't know. And if it lasts, like, as long as I don't get rear-ended again. But like if it lasts, then like I'm not planning on like buying a car and then like selling it as soon as it's like about to get off the warranty and getting a new car. like some people do. If I were to do that,
Yeah.
I would just lease the car because it's cheaper than buying it. Um, but I want to buy a car, and then I want to drive it until the wheels fall off. And then I want to put new wheels on them, and then I want to drive it until the engine falls out. And then at that point, it's probably time to get a new car. But
Yeah.
um, I would like to see, or like if I get this one, and it's like it'll probably be at like 21,000 miles when I get there. What was it at? It was at 19,778. So actually, it's probably at 20,000 miles when I go test drive it. But oh, one good thing is I when I talked to the sales representative there, they were happy I was getting it inspected. They're like, we're confident that it'll come back clean, but we definitely like it when people get their cars inspected. So maybe that's a green flag, maybe it's not a green flag, I don't know. But the Joe Swanson says, "What's up, brother? Up is that way."
The opposite of down.
Exactly. But yeah. Yeah, so like hopefully I can take this car, and as long as I don't get hit, take it from 20,000 miles to 100,000 miles. And like at an average of 10,000 miles a year, that's 8 years with the car. So hopefully longer than that. I don't know. The goal is to like not need a new car again for a while. So I don't know. But it's also a plug-in hybrid like my last one was, so kind of nice. That's pretty nice. It has a larger electric range and stuff, and I like the way it looks, and I don't know. So here's hoping that everything's good when I get it inspected and all that. But I'm here for Sudoku.
I'm here for Sudoku.
Yeah. Did you do anything exciting that you wanted to talk about before we hop over to Sudoku, or just ready for some puzzles?
I'm just ready to Sudoku.
All right, let's swap over. So this screen goes over here. Click the Sudoku button, click the transition button, and we are ready for puzzle number 1 for today. And puzzle number 1 for today is Counting Down by Classified. Normal Sudoku rules apply. The digits on an arrow sum to the number in the attached circle. Digits increase in one direction along an arrow, including its circle. The digits in a small circle must all appear at least once in the 4 surrounding cells. Okay, so the digits increasing in one direction along an arrow, including its circle. Okay, it's the arrows are also thermos, basically.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Where the tip of the arrow is the bulb of the thermo. And then we have a 5 or an 8 over here. So interesting.
Well, and I see 3 that are 3-cell arrows.
Right. So this one, 6, 7, 8, 9. Because I could put digits 1, 2, or 3 on there as the smallest set of digits, and that's minimum 6. Now, whenever we've got these 2 arrows here that are 5, so the 3 were minimum 6, so that would be a 4 and a 5 on top of that. And 4 and 5 is an extra 9, and 6 and 9 is 15. So the minimum that these 2 circles can be added together is 15, and that is true over here, 6, 7, 8, 9, and here, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now, they can also add to more than 15. They could be 16 or 17. Yeah. Let's see. Well, this is minimum. Go ahead, sorry.
I was going to say the one at the tip, at the bottom of column 1, the tip of that arrow.
Mm-hmm.
I know that's going to be minimum or maximum 7.
Actually, it's maximum 4 because the digits increase.
Oh, right, because that one's. I had it backwards.
Yeah, and that's actually true for every arrow tip. 1, 2, 3, 4. Because because of the rules, digits increase in one direction along an arrow, including the circle, then they have to increase from the arrow tip, because the circle is the sum of the arrow. So, like, if this was a 4 and a 3, that would make this 7, but now it increases from the middle going outwards. It has to increase in a consistent direction, so it would have to be 3, 4, and then 7. And so...
Right. And 4, 5 is 9, so...
Yeah, and so, because 9's the biggest number, if I tried to make this 5 and 6, that would be 11, and I can't put 2 1s in a circle. So that's a lot more information.
You missed a couple arrow tips.
Oh, right here. 4.
Row 1.
Now, for these ones, because they're length 3,
right.
they're 1 or 2, aren't they? Because if this was a 3, 4 and 5 is 9.
Right.
So then the next
3,
one...
4 is 9, so yeah.
Yeah. Now, if I did a 1 and a 4 and a 5, that's not going to work. So the second one is only a 2 or a 3. But then this one can go from 3 all the way up to 6. I don't know why I missed this one. So it could go 1, 2, 6 for 9.
Right. So, okay.
These 3 are maximum 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But 1 isn't allowed. Actually, 2 isn't allowed, nor is 3. And that's true for all of these circles. Now, they can go all the way up to 8, but they cannot be 2 or 3. Because 3 and 2 is 5, but that's not true for the rest of the circles, so never mind. That was only true for these ones that had to be 6, 7, 8, 9. But, like, this could be a 3, so that would be 1, 2, 3. Okay, now, with this over here, this is minimum 15. And it's looking at this. So, excuse me, this is minimum 30. Because these 5 are minimum 15, and then I can take the 2 circles, which sum to the 2 arrows, 15 and 15 is 30, and so that would leave 15 here. Now, the fact that this can only go to a 4 means I cannot do 15. So this is now minimum 16, so 6 comes off, and it would be a 7-9 pair, which would make this an 8. An 8 and a 4 is 12, and 16 and 16 is 32. 32 and 12 is 44, correct? So this is going to have to be an 8-9 pair for 17. And 17 and 17 is 34, so I need an extra 11. So that's going to be 7, 8, 9. And 1 is removed from here. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh. An 8, 9 pair is going to make that a 7 automatically. 7 and 4 is 11. So this is a 5, that's a 9, this is 8. 9 here.
Well,
that can't be
if you
4.
look
Oh,
at that
this is
8.
6 and 2.
Yeah.
1, 3, and 5. 7, 9, 7, 7, 1, 5, 2, 6, 4, 4. And actually, we have 1, 2, 3, and 7 left over. But neither of these can be 5 or 8, so this is a 5, 8 pair. So that's 8 and that's 5, making this 6. 1, 2, and 3. 6 is gone. This is 4 and 5, which is 9. A 4 is out from there. A 9 from there. The same thing from down here is going to be up here, isn't it?
Maybe. But the arrow on the right... Sorry, row 1, the arrow on the right.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Oh, this being minimum 6 can't make that a 6?
Well, yeah, there's that, and 6 would be either 1 or 2, and 7 would be 1, so they can't have a 3.
Right. Now I believe the same rules for row 1 as row 9, because we had maximum 4 here, maximum 4 there, and we couldn't get this to work with 16, because a 7 and 9 would make this 8, but an 8 and a 9 would make this maximum 7. 8 and 9 is 17, double that to 34, and I need an extra 11, which is the minimum I can place. Excuse me, the maximum I can place here. So that's going to be an 8, a 9, a 6, a 2, a 5, a 3, and a 1. 3s are out of that one. Okay, these 2 3s are going to have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now this is 3, 4, 5 is out, 4, 5, and 7 is out. This one is 8 or 9. It's an 8, so that's 6 and 2. That's apparently 3 and 2 for 5. 2 is gone. What's left over in here? I don't see 7 or 9. And I don't see 2 or 4.
2 and 4.
How about these? Oh, how about these two? That's going to be a lot easier. 1 and 6, which is actually placed. So one of these two is 6. Let's do that in the corner. But these 4, I don't see a 2, a 5, which is going to be those 2, a 9 or a 4, which is those 2. 2's out of those. This is what, 6 and... If I can get rid of the ones in the corner. 8. And then 4, 7, 9. Oh, these two should be pretty easy.
Well, the arrow in box 2.
Arrow box 2. Box 2.
Yeah, that's going to have to be 1, 3, and 4. Because what's left is 1, 3, 4, 7, 9. And you can't do 3, 4 for 7. Because that would leave both of them being 9 in box 1.
Right. And that can't be a 7. And so we have to have a 1. Can't be 3. Could it be 1, 3? Oh, right. Because you just said 3, 4, and 7, so 1, 3, 4. Okay. 5, 7, and 8. These 3, maybe? 3, 4, and 6. I wish I gave a little bit more information, but it's left over in here. 9 has to be one of those 3. But 8 can add up to... Well, it can't be there. So 8's one of those 2.
Well, ask yourself where 1 can go in that box.
Not on the top, not in the circle. Can't go
Or
there
on the
or
arrow.
there. So that's the 1. So this is 8 or 7. 7 or 8. Oh, and it has to be 8. So that's 9. 7, 9. The reason it had to be 7 or 8 is because if this wasn't 8, then that had to be 8. So, oops, wrong way. That had to be. One of these days, I'll learn how to think multiple things at the same time. So this has to be 7 or 8, because if this is not an 8, then that's the 8, which would make this 7, but things clash. So because this is 8, that's 9. And all of the rest of that, which I should have focused on explaining that one thoroughly first.
4, 5,
But what's
6.
left over? 4, 5, 6. Well, that has to be a 5, so that's a 4, and that's 6. 9, 7, 4. These 4, I don't see a 1. I don't see a 3. I don't see 4. And I don't see 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, a 6, a 7, an 8, and a 9. There we go. Speedy puzzle. I have to highlight this carefully, otherwise it wants to highlight too much, which is actually kind of frustrating. But that's not the one I want. I want...
Got to put the link.
I did forget to put the link. One of these days, I will be on top of that every time, but no one will notice if I put it in late, will they? Counting down, link. Yeah. Yeah, no one will notice if I put it in late, especially if I don't mention it, right? Let's take a look at Logic Masters Germany and see. Oh, that's not the thing I want. Counting down. Get rid of the space at the end. Oh, that's not the. Yeah, it's not the puzzle. Alright, well, I guess that's not on Logic Masters Germany, so we'll just share the Sudoku Pad app link. Yeah, I have nothing else to say about this puzzle. Anything else you want to say, Mama?
Nope.
Alright, then I will make sure I copy the link, but I am going to wait to paste it until after I've read the rules, and so I can copy the title of the puzzle. Alright, so puzzle 2 for today. Friday the 13th, 1980 to 2025. By Jadawo. Normal Sudoku rules apply. Killer cage. The numbers in the cage must sum to the total given in the upper left corner. Variant sandwich clues. The clues are the sum of the digits between the crusts. The crusts are determined by the row or column the clue is. For example, if the clue is in row 2, then the sandwich crusts are 2 and 8. If the clue is in column 7, then the sandwich crusts are 7 and 3. Crusts will sum to 10. All sandwich filling are in their own killer cages. Interesting. So, does that mean that it has to be those two? Those two? Those two?
What it sounds like.
Okay. I could have done that more systematically. So those two, these two, okay. And those two, and those two. Okay. So this is 1, 9, because we're in column 1. 3, 7 for column 3. 3, 7 again, because we're in column 7. Row 2 is going to be a 2, 8 pair. Oh, I already jumped straight into the puzzle. I forgot to copy the title. Doot, doot. Bam! There we go. First try. Puzzle link is in the comment, or not the comments. Hey, I guess it's the chat. That's the word I'm supposed to say. Comments are for after the video is released.
Right, and the 13 cage in column 7 is a 4-cell cage. It cannot be 1, 2, 3, 7, so it has to be 1, 2, 4, 6. I suppose it could be 1, 3, 4, 5.
They can't use a 3.
Oh, right, can't use a 3.
Yeah, so 1, 2, 4 is the minimum, which is 7, and we need an extra 6 on top.
So that makes the 2, 8
4, 6.
resolve.
Sure does. 2, 8. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 8 and 5 is out.
Well, and row 2, row 2. The first 13 cage cannot have a 1 in it.
It's a 9 and a 4. Six and 7's gone from this one. All right, 13 and 3. Without a 4 or a 6. 4 is out, 6 is out. There's still 3 options. But 1 or 2 is required, so that's interesting. This one over here can't have 1 or 9, although 9 only had 1 option in it for some reason. Although I guess that makes sense, because there's only one way to make a 4 in 2 cells.
Look at the one in row 8.
Can't have an 8 or a 2. And it must have 3 or 7, but all of the options have a 3 or 7.
Right.
Now it can't have 3 and 7, but that's already covered. Because 3
well,
and
that
7
would be
require
3,
another
7,
3.
So.
Yeah. This one can't have a 4. Because this one can't be a 4, and this 4 covers the other 2.
Row 2 needs 1, 3, and 5. So it has to have a 1, 3, or 5 in it. Column, yeah. So 2, 4, 7 is out. I guess that's the only one that's eliminated.
Out, yeah. 4's in this one. Oh, has to have a 3 or a 7, so 2, 5, 6 isn't a possibility for this one. If this is 7, that's 1, 5. Well, I could not put 9 on the inside of this 13. Well, I guess maybe that should be more clear. I can't put 9 in either of these two cells for the 13 in row 4. The two cells that are in box 5. If I were to put a 9 there, I'd have to put a 1 or a 3 in this cell. But this one and this 3-7 pair takes both of those possibilities out. And 3-7 also takes this 3 out of the 1-3-5 possibility here, which puts a 3 over here, which gives us 7 and 3. 7 and 3. So now this makes this 10, so 1, 9, 2, 8. Or 2 and 8 are removed from those options.
And the 13 cage in row 8.
Oh, yes,
Well,
it
that has to
7,
be
so
1 and
that's
5.
5. So the rest of the row is 9, 4, and 6. 4, 6 isn't an option here because it would break this. Cell 8 of column 1, or cell 4 of box 7. Oh goody, tinnitus. The thing that the VA doesn't think I have. What's left over in column 7 while I'm being salty about the VA? 9 and 5?
5.
I don't think this could be a 5, because if I had to make 8 here, then that would be 1, 7, 2, 6, or 3, 5. But that would be covered by the 5.
That has to be 9.
9 and a 1, 3 pair. So we get 9, 4, 5, and 8. That's going to put our 5 down here, and now I have to make 8. So 1, 7, or 2, 6. Not too much information, though. 5's out of this cage. Can't use a 9, an 8, or a 7. So a 6 is required. And then not the 1. So 6, 2, 5, 3, 4. But that's going to force 1 into one of these. So 1 is out, 7 is out, 1 is out, 7 is out. That's a 2, 6 pair because of the 1, 5 here. So this can't have 2 or 6. Say again?
Nothing, that's what I was gonna... That cage, so...
That's not the button I wanted. 3, 4, 8, 9. 3 and 4. One's not allowed in here. So a 2 is required. That's not the button I wanted. 2 is required. So 2 and 8. So now I can't use 9, but that was already known. Can't use 1, so this is 2, 3, 8. So not a 3, not a 2. 2 had to be here, so that's 2. 1, not 1. Not a 2. And this can't be 3, 8, so this is 2, 5, 6. And what's left over? A 7?
Mm-hmm.
Just going to fix this up here. 6s are gone from those two. That's a 5. This is supposed to be a 6. 8, 2. Not an 8. These two can't be 6. A 4 and 9 pair places a 6 over here. 6 and 2, 4 and 2 and 6. And 9, 4, 5, 8, 9's removed. 9's are removed from those. All of the crusts are dealt with, so take out the sandwich coloring. Can't have a 6 over here, but a 2 is required, so that 2's up here, not a 2. So I need to make 11, which is 3, 8, not allowed, 4, 7, which is fixed if it's correct, or 5, 6, so it has to be 7, 4. 8, 9, and what's left over? 5? So that's 5. I don't see a 7 or a 3 in that row. Let's do top. So row 4, I don't see 5.
5 and 9.
And then row 5.
2 and 8.
6 is required here, but that's already done over there. What's left over in box 9? 1, 7, and an 8. Well, the one's here. Take that one out. Got this 13, and that 13 left over. So it's either 3, 9, or 4, 8. But I have to have a 1, so this isn't a 1, so that is. How about the rest of column 1? 3, 5, 8. Now, this has to have a 3 in it or an 8 in it. And that's a 3 or an 8. So 8 has to be over here. So that's a 7, that's an 8, that's a 3, that's a 7, that's a 2, that's an 8. 3 is removed, 3 paired with 4, so that's a 5, and a 6, 2. 5, 9, 5, 4, 9. I did that correctly, I did. I always sort of panic when I do some math really
4.
quickly. Because as
6.
as good at math as I am supposed to be, and the fact that I did math tutoring for a while, has never really stopped me from making lots and lots of mistakes just
3,
for
5, 8.
doing stuff quickly.
5, 8 pair in box 1.
Okay. 1's required down here, so that's the 1. This must be an 8, 9, because those are the last two. So 9, 8, 9, 4, 8 here, 3 there, 5. This has to be, no, this has,
Yeah, 4 was correct.
okay, yeah. I thought it was 11, which is why I got confused. But
9.
that's why I can't, or why I'm always panicking whenever I do math just a teensy bit too quickly. So I need a 3, I need a 7.
7.
There we go. Oh, there's a long congratulations message. Okay, so on May 9th, 1980, the slasher film Friday the 13th premiered, launching what would become one of the most iconic horror franchises in cinema history. Just over a month later, June 13th, 1980, ominously fell on a Friday, mirroring the movie's title and adding a chilling layer of real-world coincidence. fast forward 45 years, and June 13, 2025 will once again fall on a Friday. As fate would have it, that eerie alignment coincides with the film's 45th anniversary, making 2025 a particularly fitting year to revisit Camp Crystal Lake, if you dare. Now, while there is definitely, if you read it in the right tone and don't think a little bit too much, the fact that a month later, a Friday the 13th happened, honestly, I'm surprised they didn't intentionally release it that day. So,
Yeah.
I don't know. I would have released it on then, and then done all of the spooky, oh no, it's Friday the 13th. I don't know. Adding a chilling layer of real... No, that's not... That doesn't mean anything. I don't know. People get way too excited when coincidences happen. And the correlation, causation thing. Oh, and then like the eerie, and I'm not blaming the author for like doing anything but being silly with the words here, but I'm talking about like behaviors I've noticed from other people where like they'll be like, oh, this was red and that was red and that was red. That means red is a lucky color. I don't know. Like coincidences on both positive and negative are equally nonsensical when you connect dots poorly.
Yes, correlation does not mean causation. Lots of ice cream sales does not increase the chance of shark attacks.
And that is very, very true, even though those are very heavily correlated. Weird.
Especially, ice cream sales at the beach. Yeah, I have a t-shirt with something along that line on it.
Yeah. But, yeah. Yeah, the eerie alignment coincides with the film's 45th anniversary. Like, it technically doesn't, because the film's 45th anniversary was May 9. And then what's the significance of 45? Like, I don't know. Again, I'm not accusing the author of being anything other than silly with like adding extra words in here to make it sound like there's something when there's not. Now, if they...
Well, look at our time. It's got a 45 in the middle of it.
Oh, wow. Yeah, it does.
Preceded by 1 and followed by 0.
And like there's a 1 in 1980 and a 0 in 2025. People will really do that sort of stuff. Like there's a whole like thing with numerology. It is I have very negative thoughts towards the people who engage in that sort of thing. But Tolrak says 45 is the secret, and that is true. 45 is the secret number that Simon shares with only his favorite friends. So I encourage you to check out the channel Cracking the Cryptic if you would like to be in on that little inside joke. I will explain nothing more.
45 years is important.
That's probably true. But again, that's also just a coincidence. But yeah. Anyway, that is enough on people being silly with things like number mathematics and horror film franchises and all that.
While you go through that, I'm gonna go grab some water. I forgot to grab a glass of water.
Sounds good. I have water right here. Hydration is very important. Make sure to drink water. What if I take out the date range? Although the date range is kind of important to this puzzle. Yeah. What if I go with the author name? Jodawo? Jodawa's in here. Publish puzzles. 13th of Friday. 13th of Friday. Well, they haven't posted in a while, so I feel like they were a bit more recent than their most recent puzzle published here. So, alright, that one's gonna go away. And then some spoilers as we wait for Mama to come back.
Back.
Control-Shift-T. I forgot to save the link, although I could have just copied it out of chat. Paste that here. Save that. That way I don't lose that. Don't really think I need this. No, I'll keep it just in case. Actually, I don't. Go away. Goodbye, notepad. Alright. Alright, I think we are ready for the next one. So...
Yes.
How would you say this puzzle name? Because I'm not sure. Might be French.
Maybe.
Quin Kun X. Maybe. Quinsoon X? I have no idea. Hopefully, that is close enough. By Refrigerator. Sudoku. Normal Sudoku rules apply. Place the digits 1 through 9 exactly once in each row, column, and box. Quinsun X's. In every box, the top left, top right, center, and bottom left and bottom right digits add up to a multiple of 5. Dutch whispers. Adjacent digits along orange lines differ by at least 4. German whispers. Adjacent digits along green lines differ by at least 5. White circles. Digits separated by a white circle differ by 1. Odd circles. Digits in shaded circles are odd. Arrow. Digits along an arrow sum to the value in the attached circle. You would think I would know how to read by now. Like, my brain just misfires way too much. Alright. I'm ready. But... copy. Paste. Colon. And... Sudoku Pad app. Link. First try. Okay, so the weird rule with the weird word means that these in every box. So every X that we can make inside of a box Why don't I do everything systematically? I don't want to do this in blue just for funsies. So every X must be a multiple of 5. Now, this is all odd, which makes this odd. So, 2, 4, 6, 8. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. And then 1 and 3 is gone. Wait, that's not right. This has to be even. Okay.
Yes.
So a multiple of 5 doesn't have to be odd. Who knew? Not me, the math tutor. 4, 6, or 8. So 9's definitely removed.
Well, 9 would have been off the arrow anyway.
That's true. Ow. I'm definitely looking forward to getting a new desk when I move, because my desk has the weird, like, X bars underneath and an angled bar that my shins bang into. But you had something you saw.
Yeah, box 5, the bottom right corner. It's on the German Whisper. Cannot be a 5.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, we know that these 5 are minimum... I was going to say minimum 10, but 10 is the minimum in 4 cells, so they're minimum 20. Can I get up to 30? It looks like I can, with a maximum of 32. Now, this is even, and those two together are even. So, does that help us in any way? I mean, this is either 8, 12, or 16. So, if it was 8, I'd have to make 12, which would be 3, 9, or 5, 7. If I made this 12, I could do 8. I definitely couldn't do 18, so yeah, it would have to be 12 and 8. So that would be 1, 7, or 3, 5. And then if I made this 16, I could do a 1, 3 for 4, or I could do 14, which would be 5 and 9. Wait a second. If I did 4 to make 8, that would be 1, 3, 4. And then I would need 12, which would have to be 5 and 7. 5 and 7. And if I made this 12, that would be a 6 with a 1, 5. Then I'd have to make 8, which would be 1 and 7. No, wait, hold on. If this is a 6, this is 1 and 5. And then I need 8. That's not going to work, because to make 8, that's either 1, 7, but I already used a 1, or 3, 5, but I already used the 5. So 6 is gone, not an option. Now 8 is going to use the 1 or a 3, so then that couldn't be 1, 3. For 4, because 16 and 4 is 20. So now if I put an 8 here, I have to make 30, which means these are 14, which would be 5 and 9. So this would be 1, 7. So this is 7 or 9. And this is 5.
Okay, well, box
Seems reasonable.
9.
Hmm.
With 1, 2, 3, 4 being on the corners, that's 10. That has to be a 5 in the center.
That's true. 9 and 7, 1, 8. And that's 30. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of these colors. And take out those colors. Because those two are done. 5 is going to be 1 or 9. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 6. This has 5 neighbors, which means it has to be 1 or 9. And that's true over here, doesn't it? Because a 1 can have the neighbors 9, 8, 7, 6, and 5. Yeah. And 9 would be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 2, 4, 6, and 3. Oh, 7, 9 is going to make that 1, and 9, 1. 5's not restricted from that. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 5.
In row 8,
Row 8.
the German Whisper on the left, there are already 3 high digits in that row. So you have 2 that are the same. So those have to be low. And then that's 9.
Very true.
And in column 1, you can't have 4 on the German Whisper or in row 9.
But that can be 4 and make both of those 9. Can that be a 6 and make both of those 1? I think it can. Two, 3, 4, 5. Not a 5. 6, 7, 8, 9. Not 7 or 9. Well, can't be 7 or 9. That can't be an 8. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 7, 8. 6. Oh. So this is 10, so that's a multiple of 5. So the remaining 3 have to be a multiple of 5. And then this is going to be the leftover. So the sum of those 4 is 14. So 4 is going to be the remainder. And the same thing is true over here with the remainder there. And we know it's 5 through 9. So that is what? 14, 28, and an extra 7 is
Or you
35.
could look at it as 6 through 9, it's 35, just because 6 through 9 is 30, and then the 5.
Yeah. And a 1 makes 36. So take out the remainder, which is going to be 6. And then that's 30. 35.
Yeah, it can't be a 5 on the
2 has to be one of those two, so that's not a 2. 3, 4, 5. 1 and 5 is gone, so 3 is required. 2, 4. 8. That's 8. 2, 4.
In row 1, where can 7 go?
One of these two. Or there.
Right. Nope.
Not there. 7's one of those two. Gone from those. That's not a 4. Can we do the same trick with these 3? I don't think we can because they're not as fixed as they are. I guess if I took out 5 as a possibility, then that would be 30, and 1, 2, 3 wouldn't work. So that has to be a 5? Because if it wasn't, that would be 6, 7, 8, and 9, which you said earlier was 30. Add 1, 2, or 3, and it's no longer going to be 30. So that's a 5. Seemed reasonable. And so now the remaining, if I took out the 6, 7, 8, and 9, is 24, so that would be a 1. Oh, I can go with these 4. So now these are 30. And 1, 2, or 3. But if it was 31, so if this was 1, that would be 6. 2 would be 7, 3, and 8.
And 3 would be 8. Mm-hmm.
Because the difference between these two must be a multiple of must bring it back to a multiple of 5. I think. Because we know that these 4 are 30. And then 1, 2, 3. So we subtract this, which is really just the difference of those two. And that should give us 5. Because we need to go from 31 to 25. So this minus this, which has to be the 1's digit, must be 5. Okay, I think that was the more reasonable way.
And that's 1, 2, or 3.
Yeah.
And that's all the lows in that column.
So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 from neither of them. 5 from the top. 7, 8 from there. Do I have a 5 anywhere in this column?
5. Yeah, that blue dot.
So that no longer needs to be a multiple of 5. Hmm. 5 is one of those two, because I already have 5s there and there. 8 places an 8. Oh. All the way across. Where am I supposed to look next? Where do we look next? Where, oh where? Oh where? Yeah, I'm completely unsure. Okay, what clues have we not solved? That one is close to being done. That one is close to being done. These are more or less
Box 3,
settled.
look for your 8.
Oh. 5, 7, and 9. Of course, there's an 8 there. Just going to take 8 out of this one.
And where's the 5 in box 3?
One of these two. So that's
How
not
does that?
here. I think that's where all the 5s can go.
Yeah.
I have a feeling, but it's just a
7s.
feeling, that the
Where's
5s are going to go like
7s
these.
in?
Guess that's not a 7.
Yeah, there's a 7 in column 6.
Sevens go like that. Now we did put a 7 in here. Now 5 doesn't have to be blue. Or we can stop considering that 5.
Right.
7 and 8 is 15, which is a multiple of 5. So we just have to figure out what the last two have to be in order to make it a multiple of 5. Now we don't know whether it's those two, or those two, but we know it's one of those. But that's just interesting, not useful. Or at least, I don't know how to use that information yet.
Well, let's see. The possibilities would be 1, 4.
Mm-hmm.
2, 3 is out.
Yeah.
4 and 6. 6
1,
and
9,
9.
maybe?
1, 9, 6, 9.
Be the
Yeah,
1
there's lots of
there.
possibilities.
Yeah. Okay, well... is it even worth putting what's left over in the box? Because there's a lot of
Well,
numbers left. Oh, 4 has to be one of these two, so that's not a 4.
yeah. In box 6, the 6 has to be on the right-hand side.
One, two, three, four,
And a low
7,
digit.
9. 8, 5, 1, 7, and 9. 6 would have to pair with 4 or 9. But I don't think it's
It doesn't
required
have to
to.
be in that column because it could
Yeah.
be
Or at least not in the blue.
right.
3 is one of those two. Oh. The 4 is going to force a 9, and the 7 is going to force a 1, 2. So the 3 must be over here. We're just going to take 3 out of that and there. Because down here, one of these is going to be a 1, 2, or we're going to get 1, 2.
Right.
And then the other is a 3, 4. So 3 is going to be used up in this row. Actually, hold on. 7, 8, 9 is removed because 7, 8, 9. And then 3 is gone. 5's out of this one. That can't be a 1. 6 is in here. 6 has to be one of those two, I just realized. And 8 has to be along the top because none of this can be 8.
Which
So
places
8's out
the
of
8
these two.
in box 8?
6, 7, 9, I think.
Mm-hmm.
6, 7, 8, 9, and 5 is gone, so that's not a 1. That's suspiciously close to 10.
Well, those 5 boxes, the 5 blue boxes or cells in, yeah, is 1 through 6.
Uh-huh.
So to get a
That's
multiple of
21.
5,
I
the
have to
6
take out
has to come
6.
out.
So there's this box. Oh, there's our 5. So that's not 5, and that is. And that was correct, but I only had a feeling that it was going to be that way. 2, 3, 4. Missing 2, 3, 4, and 9. 4 and 1. 9 can be any of those. 2 is one of these two, so that's not 2. 5 can be either of those. What's left over? 2, 3, 4, 6. This feels less restricted. Because I've got so many empty things in the column.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 7. So that's a lot to mess with.
I guess neither of those could be 1. So 1 is one of these two.
But if you put 7 in box 2, if you put 7 in the blue on a blue,
Yeah.
then the other two have to be a multiple of 5. Well, it would have to be 2, 3, or 1, 4. Never mind.
It would take 6 out. And if this wasn't 7, would that tell us anything?
Not really.
Darn. 2, 3, 4. information. 2, 3, 4, not enough information. 1, 2, 3, 4, still missing a digit. 5, 8, 9. Not really helpful. 5, 7, 8 is gone. 1's out of that one. 1 and 5 are gone. But nothing else. 8 was removed from here, so this can't be a 3 anymore. Six, 7 pair places 8. Six has to be one of these two. So this isn't 6. Neither of those. So now we know 6 is on here.
Right.
Okay. So 13 and 8 is 21. So I either need 4 or 9.
Or 9.
6, 7, 9 and 6. So 1 has to be one of these two, so that's not 1. 2.
Row. Never mind.
Oh, 1, 2, 3 places a 4, places a 9. 6. 6, 9, 4, 9, 6 out of that one. Not a 6. So that's the 6. 7 here. 9 there.
And in box 9, the 7 makes it flanked by 1, 2.
3, 4, 4, 3. 2, 1, 3, 4. 1, 2 pair is going to place 3. 8 there. 8's out of this. That's not a 1. 2, 3 pair is going to place a 5. 3 is gone. 5 is gone. 7, 9 pair places a 1. That's not a 3, but those aren't 2s. Take out the 7 there for a moment. Those aren't 3s. These aren't 2 or 4. 3, 6 pairs. Going to take out 3s going across, so that's 2. Not 2. That's a 1. That's a 2. That makes that 7. 6 and a pair of 1s. 6 and 7, 3 and 2, 2 and 8, 2, 7, out of 6, but that's 3, 4, 6. So 3 is out, 4 is out, that should be 7 and 9. 2 and 5, 4 is gone, 7, 7s are gone, so that's a 9. 1 and 4, 7. 2, 3, 4, 2, 7, 9, 3. 3, 6, 4, 6, 3, 4, 2, 4, 9, 3, 2, and 1. And good job solving the puzzle. Nice. That was pretty tricky. But I think it was just more so along the lines of just not seeing it. Because, like, this 4 in here, I don't know how long ago the 4 got removed from these 3.
Right.
Because that was never, well, I don't know if it was never a 4, but... And then neither of those could be 4. Oh, that was a 4 for a pretty long time, now that I'm thinking about it. So that's a little silly. Yeah. I think just missing that for so long made it take longer. It would have been a lot easier if we'd seen that sooner.
Yeah.
But yeah. Alright. Still not sure how to say this, but it's probably got something to do with this X and the fact that it had to be a multiple of 5, but let's see if it's on Logic Masters Germany. And it is. Row 2. Is it an average puzzle? I would say no. I think having to think through the multiples of 5 is not easy. Yeah, I'm gonna say this is a hard puzzle. We got through it fairly quickly, but I think that's because we are pretty familiar with the constraints that the puzzle led itself to. Probably could have explained them a little bit better as we were solving, but yeah, we're really familiar with German whisper lines and Dutch whisper lines, and a strong grasp of mathematics definitely doesn't hurt. So I think a less strong grasp on all of that would make that a pretty tough puzzle. So I'm gonna go with hard on that one. Any
I'm fine with that.
Cool. Any other comments on this puzzle?
No.
Alright, then I think this is going to be the last puzzle for today. So scientists split arrows by Elno-Missile? L-N-O-M-I-S-L? I don't know. I need your help, young scientist. The evil Dr. Mata the Mad Lad has split all the arrows I was studying. Can you make the right connections and help me sort it out? Rules. Split arrows. Every arrow passes through a teleported dotted cages. Teleported, a teleporter. Digits on an arrow sum to the number in the circle. Digits can repeat on the arrow. Arrows properties. 3 arrows have only one unique digit, for example, 444. 2 arrows have only 2 different digits, for example, 122 and 225. And 1 arrow has only 3 different digits, 1566, as an example. Plus, there is 1 more arrow whose pattern must be deduced. Teleporters. Digits on one side of a teleporter must match the digit on the other side. For example, if an arrow enters a teleporter with the digit 5, it must exit another teleporter also with a 5. Every arrow must go through a teleporter. Note that the teleporter in the middle box is used by 2 different arrows. Thermometer. There is a built-in thermometer inside the machine. Digits strictly increase along a thermometer. And white crocky dots. White dots indicate consecutive digits. Not all white dots are given. Put on your lab coat, and good luck. Alright, and there is the puzzle in the chat. Let us figure this out. I feel like digits on an arrow sum to the number in the circle. Digits can repeat on the arrow.
Well, you're not going to be able to put a 1 on a circle.
Yeah. I don't think you can... Well, you could put a 2 with a pair of 1s.
But, oh, well.
I mean, the minimum is 3. Or, excuse me.
Right.
That's not right, but, I don't know. I lost track. My brain is not saying the right words at me. We know there's no 1, like you said. So 1 has to be either the top digit or the bottom digit of column 2. So then... I mean, do we... Well, I mean, we're not even guaranteed any of the other digits. Okay, so the thing I want to say is that 2 is impossible, and here's why. If 2 was possible, then the arrows would not come out of the teleporters and continue an extra digit. All of the arrows are minimum 3. And this one is length 4, because all of these on the left side go into 1 cell. And so this one comes out 3 more, so it is length 4, whereas everything else is length 3. So, I believe that is sufficient to prove that 1 and 2 are not possibilities. Does that seem reasonable?
Yeah.
Because if the minimum length is 3, and then you put 3 1s, then you don't get 2. So wherever I put the 3, I'm gonna have to have 3 1s. So where can I put a pair of 1s on my arrows? So clearly it's not the extra 3. It can't go into this box, and it can't be in the same box, can't be in the same box. So somewhere along here is going to be a pair of 1s. Now, 4 is going to have to be a pair of 1s and 2.
If you look at row 3, that cannot be a 3 in that circle. Because it would have to be a 1. Oh, I missed that one down there. Never mind.
Does 4 have to be, because it's minimum 3 cells, 2 1s and a 2? Because we know a digit
so.
has to repeat. So 1, 1, and 2 is the only way that's going to work. So I could do 1, 2 in these ones. I could even do a 1 and then a 2 here. But both...
And if we consider the arrow's properties, 3 arrows have only one unique digit, which would have to be 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, and 3, 3, 3.
Right.
For 3, 8, and 9.
Okay. You mean 3, 6, and 9?
Yes.
Okay.
I was cubing the 2 instead of...
Yeah. So then the length of 4 arrow, this is minimum 6. And 9's not an option. So it has to connect to either 7 or 8, where it's 1, 1, or 2, 2. But it could go 1, 1, 2, 4, which would be 8. If 8 led into 1. But this has to be 8 or 7 or 8 on the other side.
Okay, the 3... There are 3 diagonals that are like double 1s right now.
Yeah. So these have to be
Those
our
would
1,
also
2,
have
3s.
to be double... Yeah.
So... Okay, 1, 2, 3 makes that a 4. So that immediately makes it 8 on the other side, doesn't it? Because these two have to be a 1, 2 pair to make 7, and then a 1 on the other side. So that's a 1 and a 2. Those can't be 1s, so that's not a 1. And these had to repeat, so this is my pair of 1s. So those can't have 1s. So 3 and 3. Plus, there is one more arrow whose pattern must be deduced. Well, it can't have one unique digit. I mean, this one had 3. So I guess it's going to have to be 2 different digits for the last one, because these are the 3 digits on this one.
Right.
Which is the only arrow that could have 3 different digits. Because all of these other are only 2 extra. And the one over here is already removed, so those have to be 2 different digits, those have to be 2 different digits, and those have to be 2 different digits. And we already determined that those had to be the same. So there are 3 arrows that have 2 different digits, 3 arrows that have 1 digit, and 1 arrow with 3 digits. And that covers all the arrows. But that's more of a product of the Sudoku being the way it is. We could have just simply not done the rules being the way they are, but oh well. Now, we said, so this is 8. 8 has to lead to a 1. So that's not 8, that's not 8. 4 is 1, 1, 2, isn't it?
Yeah.
So 4 has to go into a 1. Which means that one of these two is 1, and the follow-up is 2, and it can't be this one. So this is 1 and 2. So now 3 and 4 and 8 are all removed from there. 5, 6, 7. We've still got that one there. Okay, well, what other numbers have we not covered? Because we have 1 and 2, because they weren't in the circles. 3 is 3 ones. 4 is 2 ones and a 2. 5 is going to be 2 twos and a 1.
And a 1. Yeah.
Or 2 ones and a 3. Except that can't be a 1 anymore. So it's going to have to be 2 twos and a 3. Or 2 twos and a 1. But either of these could be 1 still. So 5 is 2 twos and a 1. 6 is 3 twos. 7 could be 2 threes and a 1. 2 twos and a 3. Or 2 ones and a 5. But I don't have the option to do 2 ones and a 5. So 2 twos and a 3. Or 2 threes and a 1. 8 we know is this one, and 9 is 3 threes. So it was 5 and 7 that are left over, correct?
Uh-huh.
And, so that was 1, 2, 3 as leftover digits? Or neither of these could be 2? Because 5 is 2, 2, 1, and 7 was 1, 1, 5, which doesn't work. 2, 2, 3, or 3, 3, 1.
Right, and box 5 has a 2, 3 pair.
Does. That's a 1. So that's not a 1. So, 3, 4, and 8. 5, 6, and 7.
And 9. There's a 5, 6, 7, 9 quad in the...
And so all 3 of these are a 1.
Right.
And a 2 there. So now, 5... We already knew 5 was 2 twos and a 1. And 7 couldn't be 2 ones and a 5.
Okay, well, box 7...
Oh, I should have known that this had to be a 1 up here, because I had 3 ones.
Right. Box 7. 5 is 2 twos and a 1, so that can't be a 5.
This has to be a 3 and a 9. Doesn't it?
Yeah. Well, because 7...
2 threes and a
7
1.
Was 2 threes and a 1.
Okay, so it can't be 6, because 6 is 3 twos.
2, 2, 2. Right.
Okay, so 2. 2 4s and a 1 isn't allowed, this has to be a 2. So this has to be a 3 and a 2. So that's 3. 3s, 2s. 2 2s and a 1 is 5. So 2 3s and a 1 for 7.
Is 7.
3 5 7 9 out of 3. Okay. I don't think that's filled enough. Okay, so this is minimum 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 6, 5, 4. That's not right. 8, 7, 6, 5. Now, this has to have an 8 on it somewhere. But it's
Row
just
6,
regular
we can
7.
place a 3.
3, not there, and neither of those.
Column 7, you can place the 3.
I think that's all the 3s. No, this box.
No.
Right here.
What about 1s? Do we have all the 1s yet?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We do. 2s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're missing this 2.
And one more.
Oh.
Box 3.
I don't know how to count.
Okay.
This one can't be 7, 8, or 9. 4, 5, 6. 4, 5, 6 triple. So 7, 8, 9. Four and 9 are removed from here. It's not really helpful though. But I guess I can just put in all the digits just because. Except probably not a good idea. 9 has to be across the top. So that puts 9 in one of these. Doesn't feel that helpful. We already have 1 through 3, so it's just 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 6 has to be one of these two because of the 4, 5 here. So this is 7, 8, 9. 7, 9, not 7, not 9. 4, 5, 6, and 9. 6 had to be one of those two, so those aren't 6. Oh, and 9 had to be along the top, along with that one, so this is 9, 8, 4, 5, and 6. 4, not 4. So this
4.
is, yeah. I don't know why I was so slow on that. 5, 9 is going to play 6 and 5. 5 there as well, and a 6 here.
7,
What's
8.
left over? 3. Oh, not 3, because the 3's there. 4 and 5,
4, 5.
I think. Um, 3.
Column 6 is 6, 7, 8.
6, 7, 8. These have 4 left over. 5, 6, 7, 8. Where these two aren't 5.
And column 4, the property dots, that's 7, 8 at the bottom.
Yeah. So 6, 7, 8, 9. 9's not a possibility. But 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 here is a possibility. But we have to use a 7, because if we didn't, 5 and 6 and 8 and 9 are separated from each other. If this was
where
a
does
5,
4
it'd have
go in
to
row
reach
9?
6. 4 in row 9. 4, 4,
Actually,
4.
we have all the 4s now. I know we've got a
1,
bunch.
2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
6.
So those 3, and these 3. Unfortunately, nothing else to help.
Yeah.
Five, 6, 9, because those are 3 in the column. 4, 7, 8, 9, and it's 6. Not super helpful, but
7, 8, 9.
6. 6, 7, 8, 9, not super helpful. This is either 4, 5, or the 4 is here.
All right. The crop key dots in column 4 again. If the bottom is an 8,
Yeah.
it has to be 8, 7, 6. The only thing it can be.
Yeah.
If it's a 7 at the bottom, it can be 7, 8, 9, or 7, 6, 5. Yeah. Okay.
So we only get a 6 here if that goes 8, 7, 6. But those are suspiciously similar. Although I can't think of what to do with that. So that's a little annoying. 9s look like they're lining up here, because those two can't be 9. So that takes 9 out of all of those. And we get 9, 8 here, or 9 there. So this can't be an 8, because then you'd have to have 9, 8 there. So that isn't an 8. But that can still be 7, 8. Except if it was 7, 8, those would both be 6s.
Look where 9 goes on that row. Row 9. It has to be on the crop key dot.
Oh, that makes it simpler. 6, 5, 7. Oops. Got a little ahead of myself there. This can't go 7, 6, 5 anymore. So 7, 8 pair. This is 9, 6, 7, 8, 8, 7, 8, 6, 8, 6, 8, 5. 5. So this can no longer be 4, 5, so that's 4. 6, 8, 7's a requirement. So 9, 8, 7, 6, 9, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 6, 8 there, 8, 7 here, 4, 9, 6.
4 goes
I don't.
in the middle.
4, 5 on top, and then a 9. Congrats! You've defeated Dr. Mata the Mad Lad's evil plan and helped me sort my arrows. This will be a huge help to the scientific community. Thanks a lot for solving my Sudoku. This is the second I've set, and I had a lot of fun making it. I hope you had fun solving it too. That was a very nice puzzle. See if it's on Logic Masters Germany. And it is. Row 9. Okay, so the link here has a different link than the one that I used, because the rules got updated, but alright. Congratulations. I think I'm gonna go average on that one. It's not... I wouldn't say it was super tricky anywhere. We could have thought about these boxes a little bit sooner. We knew there were 3 1s, so that automatically put the one up here.
Right, yeah.
And then these had to be 1, 2, 3, because once we got more stuff put into the grid, a 4, 4, and a 1 wasn't going to work, because we knew that 9 had to be all 3s. So then that could have just simply been 1, 2, 3 automatically from there. But yeah, this thermo was pretty quick. Yeah. All right, then I have nothing else. I have already saved the puzzles into my notepad to paste once I have signed off. So I have nothing else to say. Do you have anything else to say, Mama?
Nope.
Cool. Then I guess the things that I will say are make sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that fancy YouTube engagement stuff. If you're interested in more Sudoku, that is Mondays and Tuesdays. Usually, I had an event yesterday, so I didn't stream then. But Mondays and Tuesdays, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. If you are interested in more gaming content, that is Final Fantasy VI and randomly, so ring the notification bell if you want to be notified when I stream that. But if you want more regular scheduled content, I have been playing Monster Hunter World on Saturdays at 7 a.m. Eastern Time. That may change soon. I haven't quite gotten through all of the content for Monster Hunter World. But might not do that every Saturday. Gotta figure that out. Probably while playing Monster Hunter World this weekend. But aside from that, thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day.